Hello YouTube. So here it is. This is going to be my beer batter chicken recipe. This is actually after the fact. Putting this at the front of the video just to let you know this is a great recipe, and it's how I like to end my day. I've worked my butt off all day. I think most of you guys know I'm a contractor, and I was out today. It was probably 17 degrees when I went out this morning, and just long day out in the cold, getting stuff done. Come home late, and the kids are getting ready for bed, and they don't always like. This is my 2 cents on things cooking. I tend to be the cook in the family, so wanted to fire up something quick, and I was hungry. I didn't feel like fast food, so I went and got some chicken out of the fridge, some chicken breast, butterflied them. You know, cut them right down the middle, split them open, each breast. I think I had a 3-4 pound pack, and yes, I sliced them up into strips, and then some of them I cut those strips into quarters, so for nuggets. Others I just cut in half to make tenders, and then proceeded with my recipe. And the nice part about it is this is a beer recipe. It's one of my only ones, and this is one of the few times that you will see me not 3 sheets to the wind, but definitely buzz doing a video, because I don't mess around with that when I'm with tools. But when you're cooking, sometimes you can cut loose a little bit and have a couple. And so recipe calls for beer. Usually I put in like a Bud Light or something like that. Today I had my Blue Moon, the Mountain Abbey Ale, and I love this stuff. So I kicked in a couple of those and used that for the beer and recipe instead of my traditional Bud Light. Came out well, tasted good, but when you're doing the recipe, just use a cheap beer around the house. You got a Bud Light or Miller Lite or whatever you drink, just use the cheap ones, and it gets the job done. So, alright guys, well, I'm going to cut to the video here. I'm going to show you the recipe. Enjoy it. Definitely try this one out. This is a very, very good recipe. My kids, especially the younger ones, they're picky eaters, and I just took some up and they were plowing it. They were loving it. So, alright, hey, take care guys. This is a triple dip fried chicken with beer batter. The way I make this is I take the oil, heat it up in the pan. I take chicken, I can cut it up either in strips for tenders or in little pieces for nuggets. This is a personal thing I picked up somewhere. I like to marinate it in milk. You can do it in water, wet it up in water. You want it to have a little wet. I'm going to post the recipe up. You'll see the recipe and how to follow it, but just so you guys see what it looks like. I've got 2 bowls there. One in the back has the dry ingredients, and the one to the left here has my beer and flour mixture, and it has a little salt and pepper and stuff in there following the recipe. And then the center bowl has my nuggets with a little bit of marinating in milk. And then if you'll pardon me, I probably look like I had been working today. I got my carpenter clothes on. This is a great meal to do. I just came home from work. I'm tired, I'm hungry. I want something quick, something that's going to taste great. I can heat up a little bit of corn, some potatoes or something, and have this, and then it's going to taste like $1,000,000. So I'm just going to show you guys here and how I do it, and definitely recommend you trying this out, and just follow the recipe out. And I modify stuff. The recipe calls for stuff like 2 egg whites or 2 egg yolks. I put in 3 or 4. You know, I mean, I play around with my recipes. Definitely, if you're into cooking, do that. Experiment a little bit. Try a little different spice if you like that. But this one here, I pretty much stuck to the recipe. I did add an extra egg yolk on this one, but outside of that, I did stick to the recipe. So, all right. So what we do is we're going to take a little piece of the chicken, and I like to use a fork so you don't get all gunked up. Put it in the dry. Go to the wet. Shake it. Back to the dry. And then we're going to put it in. I'm going to let it sit there for 1 second. Forgot, you want 2 forks, and then we'll take it from the dry into my oil. Oh, and there it goes. So we're going to do another one. And these ones right here I cut up as nuggets. From the dry to the wet, back into the dry again, into the oil. Now these are gonna literally, the outside is gonna crunch up like fair food. You guys are absolutely gonna love these. It's one of the tastiest recipes I've ever had for chicken, and it's quick. I had my ingredients together probably inside of 5 minutes, and when you do this, it's good whether it's hot or cold. I've made these for friends and family when they come over, and everybody just oohs and ahs and rants and raves about it. And I don't tell anybody. I'm sharing my secret with you guys. I think the secret is little marinade with the milk. So you're getting the idea here. That's why it's called a triple dip. We start dry, we go wet, back into the dry, right into the oil. So here we go. They've only been in for a couple minutes. We'll flip them over. And again, these are the nuggets. They cook fast. We'll do the, I got tenders that I'm going to do too, but right now I just want to get some nuggets going. Like I said, this is a quick dish. The kids love these. Serve them with a little homemade ranch dressing, or your favorite dip, little barbecue sauce, or just eat them straight up. It's an amazing texture and taste to this coating on these. They fry up amazing, and like I said, so again, I can't stress enough. This is an easy dish, quick to do, and this is a great one for if you've got family coming over and you want to get something out quick, and it's cheap too. You can buy chicken breasts. You can find that stuff on sale between $1 and $2 a pound a lot of times. And it's easy. Just cut it up on the cutting board, slice it, the breast in half, slice them into strips. You want nuggets, take those strips and quarter them up, and you're in business. And like I said, it's a real impressive little dish here. So here they are, guys, fresh out of the fryer. Now these ones are a little bit darker in color than they normally are for me, because normally when I do my beer batter, I mix it with like a Bud Light or something like that. Today I was in a hurry and I didn't see my Bud Light, so I went a little high octane on this one, and I had some Blue Moon Winter Adiel, which I love that stuff. And I put about a bottle and a half of that in there, and that's got a darker flavor, color to it. So that's why I think they're coming out a little bit darker. Alright guys, I'm just wanting to give you a shot here. It's a beautiful thing. I've got a bunch of tenders going in there, and I've got my kids, and the younger ones are picky eaters. I just gave them a bite, and they are plowing these things. So it's pretty cool. Nice thing about this too, if you're cooking, recipe does call for beer. So when you put half a can in, have a half for yourself. It needs a little bit more. Put a little quarter of a bottle in and have the other 3/4 for yourself. And the flour keeps sucking up the beer, so you always got to add a little bit. So then add another quarter of a beer, have another 3/4 for yourself. And this is one of the few videos, maybe the only video you ever see on my channel where I'm actually doing this thing completely buzzed. So it's a good recipe, it's a good feeling, it's a nice way to end the day, and I'm glad to share this with you guys. Alright guys, so I'm doing a kind of messy recap here. I'm done. This is my last batch. And I think it was a 3 or 4 pound pack, because it was like $1 something a pound, and I think it was like $6 or $7 for the package. So, and what I did is I took the breast, sliced them in half, and then just made, took those 2 halves and, kind of butterflied the breast, and then just cut them into strips. And then some of the strips I left in halves, and then some I did quarters for the nuggets. The halves are the tenders. Well, you can cut any length you want. If you want to have a real long tender, have at it. A couple notes, and I just wanted to get this on video so I don't forget. One thing I did, I had to make another batch of the dry, because when you're going from the milk into the dry, it starts to kind of gel up the flour a lot. you know, and then going back over to the wet and then back in. So I would recommend how the recipe is, make a second batch of the dry. So if you're doing a large quantity of chicken this way, if you do like a 3 or 4 pound pack, or you know, however you're doing, if you got a large family, if you're doing a larger pack, have at least another section of it mixed up. Because what I did is I did the second batch on the fly, and like I said, I've had a few in me, so I don't think the second batch is going to be quite on. It's not going to be quite recipe. This is kind of my throwing together, okay, a dash of this and a teaspoon of that was the way I finished up this last batch, but you know, it's all good. So anyways, there's just a couple things I wanted to point out. And the other thing is as you cook them, you can see the grease is, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's getting a little brown to it. The flour's starting to build up a little in the bottom. It slows down the cook time a little bit, but you know, just you'll see it when you're doing it. And like I said, it's good. Just I always pull a piece out and kind of test it, until you kind of get the hang of how you want to do it. So again, guys, enjoy this recipe. This is a good one, and I think this is one that you'll hopefully, you know, print out and put this in the recipe book and use this one for years to come.